Naka-start na siya ng record. G, Z, W. Kung hindi kayo makapag-open cam, okay lang. Kung hindi makapag-open cam, okay lang. Wait lang, nag-hang na ako. Wait lang ha, nag-hang. Wala ba talagang may ano, makapag-record? Kasi hindi ko alam kung ano. Sige, bahala na. Pag dito na save, edi ulit na lang bukas. Start na tayo. 3, 2, 1. So, good evening, everyone. Good evening to our professor, Ma'am Emeline Dalapas. We are from Group 4, and today we are going to discuss the subtopic of Lesson 7, Art in Early Civilization, which is the Byzantine art and Islamic art period. So first, let me introduce the members of the group rather. I am Crystal San Jose, the leader, and these are my members: Sibua Angeline, Andal Rubian, Robles Kier Arnold, Nebrida Raisaan, Antonio Samantha Nicole, Gozon Francis, Campanero S. Helwen, Blanca Arn Christian, and Larona Mark Aldrin. So shall we proceed to the art history timeline? These are the contents of our PowerPoint presentation. The period with year or range. Second one is the important contribution during that period. And the third one is the famous artist and art sample during that period. So we will begin in the subtopic Byzantine art period. The first one, Byzantine art period, 4th, 4th to 15th century CE, or also called as Common Era. So it is generally characterized by a move away from the naturalism of the classical tradition towards the more abstract and universal. There is a definite preference for two-dimensional representations, and those artworks which contain a religious message predominate. So, ang Byzantine art ay isang significant period na sa history of art, spanning from, yun nga, the 4th to 15th century, Common Era. Unlike sa naturalistic style classical art, Byzantine art is leaned towards a more abstract and symbolic approach. A defining characteristic of Byzantine art is its two-dimensional nature. Artists often flatten figures and forms, emphasizing the spiritual over the physical. So this style was particularly evident in mosaic and icons, which were used to convey religious stories and beliefs. So another key aspect of Byzantine art is its religious focus. Many artworks were created to adorn churches, and other religious structures, and they often depicted biblical scenes or saints. So these pieces serve not only as aesthetic objects but also as tools for spiritual devotion. For example is the Hagia Sophia. So Hagia Sophia is a masterpiece of Byzantine architecture known for its stunning mosaics and domes. So yung ano naman, iconography or yung icon, it is the art of creating religious images depicting saints and biblical figures. So the further information will be discussed by the next reporter. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss San Jose. And rinig po ba?
Yes, you're
Good day,
audible.
everyone. Okay. Good day, everyone. I am Angeline, and I am going to discuss the important contribution during Byzantine art period. The development of Byzantine architecture, the preservation and transmission of ancient Greek knowledge, and the production of intricate Byzantine icons and mosaics. Using bright stones, gold mosaics, lively wall paintings, intricately carved ivory, and precious metals in general. Byzantine artists beautified everything from the buildings to books, and their greatest and most lasting legacy is undoubtedly the icons which continue to decorate Christian churches around the world. Aside pa dyan, meron pang tatlong pinakamahalaga. First is yung preservation of classical Greek learning, and yung second is yung production of the Corpus Juris Civilis, and yung last is yung development of a new branch of Christianity, the Eastern Orthodox faith. Thank you, and next reporter please.
Good evening, everyone. Um, ngayon naman, i-discuss ko yung mga famous artists and art na during this period. First is the Hagia Sophia. Again, Hagia Sophia, which is the Byzantine period of 537 to 1430 years. An important Byzantine structure in Istanbul and one of the world's great monuments. It was built as a Christian church in 6th century CE, or again 532 to 537 years, under the direction of Byzantine Emperor Justinian I in subsequent century. It became a mosque, a museum, and a mosque again. Uh, the Hagia Sophia was built under the Byzantine Emperor Justinian I again. Um, it was the largest church in the world for hundreds of years after its construction. It is a rectangular building capped by a huge dome. The dome is nearly 105 feet or 32 meters across. The most shrinking and unique part of Hagia Sophia structure is the design. Ayun, so nabanggit ko kanina na yung design ng structure ng Hagia Sophia is like a dome. Kung makikita natin sa picture. And then, nag-give siya ng impression sa mga tao na parang lumulutang yung mismong structure na ito. And then, yung Hagia Sophia has served as church, a mosque, and a museum. Kagaya ng nabasa ko dyan kanina sa ating uh, PPT, and reflecting the city's changing religious and political landscape, built as a Christian church under the Byzantine Rome. It became a mosque after the Ottoman conquest in 1453. In 1931, it was secularized as a museum, Colosseum only to regain a mosque statue in 2020. And the most innovation in the architecture of Hagia Sophia is an unusual size for church. So imagine ganyan kalaki church lang yan, di ba? Nung time ng Byzantine. And then the size and height of a dome dominating the middle space. Ayan. So the architect of this Hagia Sophia is Isidore of Miletus or Isidoros and the Athenius of Travelus are Athenius. Next slide. Ayun, for the next naman art, ito yung Triotokos of Vladimir and Tretyakov Gallery, Moscow. The Triotokos of Vladimir is one of the finest surviving example of medieval Byzantine art. The icon features the Triotokos of the, or for other words in Greek for Virgin Mary, and the Christ the child with his cheek against his mother's cheek, thought to have been created in Constantinople. Constant, Constant, Constantinople. Wait lang. And sorry for the interruption. Constantinople during the Command period, or 1081 to 1185 years. The icon was sent to the guard piece of Cave Beauty Dolgorouki. Um, this icon is supposedly a miracle working image because during during the war or attack during the military attack, this artwork was survived and having protected Moscow from military attack during the 14th and 15th century. This mosaic, just like other Christian symbol, is an in the Hagia Sophia was an expression of religious devotion and to decorate the interior of the grand edifice, which is yung pinakaloob ng church or yung nabanggit ko kaninang Hagia Sophia. And the artist of this is Evangelist Luke. Ayan. So next slide po. Yun. So the Virgin and Child Mosaic in Hagia Sophia. It was created during the rule of Emperor Basil II in 1960 to I no 960 to 976 years, but was rediscovered only in the mid 19th century during the restoration of the Hagia Sophia by the Ponsatile brother of Gaspare and Giuseppe. The fresco represent Virgin Mary sitting on the throne without a back and a child Jesus in her lap. On the left, Mary is played by Emperor Constantine, representing the model of the city of Constantinople, and on the right, by the Emperor Justinian I, representing the model of Hagia Sophia. So, yun, yung sinabi ko is makikita natin dyan sa picture. The mosaic location was significant because the Byzantine believed that the Eucharistic bread and the wine became Christ's flesh and blood of the altar below. So, yan. Makita natin yun sa picture. Naniniwala daw yung mga taga-Byzantine period na yun daw, yung nasa picture daw is nagre-reflect siya sa flesh or sa flesh ni Jesus Christ and the blood itself. And then The size and solidarity of the mosaic are reframed the power of image after Byzantine iconism. And the next and the mosaic show how the arts and interest in naturalism flourished in the final century of Byzantine Empire. Ayun. So, yung yung kung makikita natin sa picture, yung Virgin face daw is emotionally charged with the grief and sorrow, especially dominating the pain of a mother grieving a lost child. And then the child head, is intentional damage to the right eye of the child. So, sinabi dito na yung painting daw na ito is may yung sa child head daw is may intentional damage siya sa right eye. And then the artist of this Virgin and Child in Hagia Sophia responsible for this specific mosaic are unknown. So hindi pa siya until now is hindi pa siya tukoy kung sino mismo gumawa ng art na ito. As of often the case with Byzantine art from this period, where the names of the artists were rarely recorded. However, the mosaic of often attribute to the skilled workshop of Byzantine mosaic who work under imperial patronage during this time as the hallmark of the high Byzantine style. Yun. So thank you. Next reporter, please.
Thank you, Nebrida. Good day, everyone. I am Ruben Andal. So let's proceed to the Christ Pantocrator Hagia Sophia, Istanbul. The Christ Pantocrator mosaic in the Hagia Sophia is in Istanbul is an iconic example of Byzantine art and karaniwang inuugnay ito sa mga Byzantine artists active during the 11th century, and it was likely commissioned during the reign of Emperor. Probably created in 1261, the mosaic represent Christ by halo. Halo is a representation of his spiritual character through the symbolism of light na nakapalibot sa kanyang ulo. Makikita naman diyan sa may slides. And ang kanyang kanang kamay na nakataas at ang kanyang kaliwang kamay na may hawak ng isang libro. Sa kanyang kanan ay makikita ang Virgin Mary. I think hindi siya visible diyan, pero yun yung base dito sa may research na. At sa kanyang kaliwa naman ay si John the Baptist. Also known as the Thesis Mosaic, the masterpiece is located in the Church After Galleries. And however, the specific name of the artist responsible for this mosaic is not known, as many works of Byzantine art were created anonymously or under imperial patronage without individual attribution. Next slide, please. The next one is mosaic of Emperor Justinian I, Basilica of San Vital, Ravenna. And the mosaic of Emperor Justinian I is a famous artwork na matatagpuan sa Basilica of San Vital in Ravenna, Italy. It shows Emperor Justinian I na namumuno sa Byzantine Empire mula 527 hanggang 567. In the mosaic, he depicted holding a golden paten. Ang paten is a dish used in Christian rituals, dressed in imperial purple, and napapalibutan ito ng gintong halo na nagsisimbolize ng kanyang divine authority or pagiging banal. To his sides naman makikita na there are different figures including soldiers, court official, and church leader, highlighting his role as both the emperor and a protector of the church. And the exact artist of this mosaic is kabilang siya sa Byzantine art, so is unknown din siya, just like na kanina na hindi kilala kung sino yung gumawa. But pinaniniwalaan na ito ay nilikha by a team of skilled mosaics working under the patronage of the emperor rather than by a single name artist. The mosaic was likely made in the mid-6th century, shortly after the Justinian reign began. Next, please. And the next one is enthroned Madonna with child, the saints Theodore and George and two angels, Saint Catherine's Monastery. Enthroned Madonna with child, the saints Theodore and George and the two angels ay sinaunang Christian Byzantine icon likely created in Constantinople or modern day in Istanbul. During the 6th or 7th century, inilalarawan nito ang Virgin Mary na nakaupo sa isang trono kasama ang sanggol na si Kristo sa kanyang kandungan. Surrounded by the saints, Theodore and George ang makikita dyan sa may slides. And God is depicted above na inuunat yung kanyang kamay toward the Virgin Mary. This icon shows a blend of Roman art influence with early elements by Byzantine style, which would become more prominent in later religious art. And the specific artist of this icon is unknown again dahil kabilang ito sa Byzantine art na ginagawa na anonymously din yung artist. And lastly, ang piraso daw nito ay makikita sa Saint Catherine's Monastery na matatagpuan sa Mount Sinai in Egypt, which is known for its collection of ancient religious art. Thank you. Next reporter, please.
Thank you, Miss Ruby. And now, I am going to discuss the famous artists during Byzantine art period. First is Theodore Apsebdis, born in 1150 and died in 1215. Theodore Apsebdis was a Greek painter assumed to be from Constantinople. He is one of the few Byzantine painters known by name. His contemporary in Italy was Alberto Sotio. Both painters were active during the same period. They were active during the Comnenian Restoration. Si Theodore Apsebdis, wala masyadong may alam tungkol sa buhay niya. Kaya inassume na taga Constantinople siya dahil sa style ng kanyang painting na kahawig ng sining ng Constantinople. Kaya napag-isipan ng mga historian na siya ay mula sa Constantinople. And marami sa mga Apsebdis painting ay nakasurvive hanggang ngayon. They are over 852 years old and are primarily in Cyprus. And his main work is at the Monastery of Saint Neophytos, Cyprus. Additionally, yung 1192 murals of Panagia to Araka ay itinuring din sa kanya. Next slide, please. Second is Isidore of Miletus, 6th century to 537 AD or Anno Domini. Yung Anno Domini came from Latin word na ang ibig sabihin ay in the year of the Lord. Isidore of Miletus was one of the two main Byzantine Greek mathematicians, physicists, and architects. Anthemius of Thales was the other. That Emperor Justinian I commissioned to design the Cathedral Hagia Sophia in Constantinople from 532 to 537. Si Isidore of Miletus ay isang kilalang scientist and mathematician bago siya tinanggap ni Emperor Justinian I. Itinuro ni Isidore ang stereometry at physics sa universities of Alexandria and then of Constantinople. Kilala rin si Isidore sa paggawa ng unang comprehensive compilation of Archimedes' work. The Archimedes palimpsest survived to the present. Thank you and to be continued by Mr. Kier.
Hello din ako guys. Prokope Chirin or ang tunay na name niya talaga is Prokope Techirin. Kumbaga dito, Chirin lang, tas yung totoong name niya is Techirin or may T dun sa may unahan. Prokope Chirin, one of the most prominent master of Strago icon painting school. He was born in Novgorod. Ang Novgorod ngayon is ano, siya yung one of the oldest city sa Russia. Yung name ng city na yun is Veliki Novgorod. Sabi ko nga, siya yung isa sa oldest city. Siya din yung isa sa pinakamalaking city sa buong Russia. Continue. Then, Between 1620 and 1621, he afflicted with Harmonie Fracas o Chancery at the court of Sir Mikhail Ferdovic. In 1621, Prokopy Chirin, together with other famous iconographer, painted the new char chamber. Yung new char chamber, if isi-search nyo to, ito yung parang yung mga chamber sa may Russia na malalaking building doon na parang parang pinagja-judge yan, ganun. Then, the during chamber and the bedroom, he also produced book illustration for the edition of Moscow Printing House. Shirin's artworks are distinguished for the finest miniature painting. Kumbaga isa sa parang nagpalaganap ng painting na miniature. Yung miniature, yun yung mga maliliit na parang painting. Kung nagpe-Facebook kayo or mga nakita sa internet, yung parang mga mga nagba-vlog doon na na mga maliliit na painting na pinipaint mo sa may parang kahoy, sa mga parang basta parang parang tabla na pinagpe-painting. Ayun yung miniature painting. Execute the palette and true dress trimmings. Among his significant works, commissioned by the Stranganov icons of John the Warrior. Itong John the Warrior, isa to sa may pinakakilala niyang painting. Yung story nito is parang isang warrior siya na dating against sa mga Christianity, pero parang bumaliktad siya, kumbaga nangyari parang naging na siya, parang kumampi na sa Christianity, pero pinatay siya ng mga parang ng mga soldier na against sa Christianity. Kumbaga parang siya, bumaliktad siya nung kaya siya pinapatay nung parang leader ng kaya ito yung parang isipan niya painting. Ayun yung story sa sa John the Warrior. Kaya parang siguro nung panahon niya is nabutan niya to, kaya ito yung parang pininting na kumbaga naglalarawan sa isang warrior na parang pinaglaban yung tama talaga sa kaalaman niya. The early 17th century, the Russian Museum, St. Petersburg, Nikita, the Warrior, the Virgin Tikhvins, Our Lady of Vladimir, with festworks and praised the saints of Our Lady of Lidicosan. Late 16th, early 17th centuries, the State Triakov Gallery, Moscow. Continue. Ito pa yung isa sa pinaka niya. Sa pinaka famous art niya. Yung Christ the Protector. In Christianity iconography, Christ Protector is a specific depiction of Christ Protector or Contractor, literally a ruler of all, but usually translated as Almighty or All-Powerful, is derived from one of the names of God of Judaism. Ito naman yung parang ansya. Kumbaga sa mga natin, sa mga painting natin ngayon, or sa mga mga painting na about sa simbahan, yung mga pictures ng Jesus Christ. Kumbaga itong paint na to na Christ Protector is ito yung isa sa pinakaunang painting na nilikha na parang hawig daw ni Jesus or what daw, yun daw yung itsura ng Jesus dun sa may mga painting na yun, di ba? Sabi nga na yun daw yung naglalaman sa face ni Jesus. Pero based sa akin, hindi ako naniniwala sa ganun. So yun yung parang yung next slide.
Australia naman. Hanggat ngayon si Vincent Mal, kaya pala
Next slide.
Yes! Updated ako ah. I'm sorry.
Then next slide. Sa may tapos na ako dyan. Sa may Nicholas Lampoudis. Yan. Nicholas Lampoudis was a 15th century Greek painter from Sparta. And the only work of his which historians are aware is an icon of Virgin and the Child of the Kind. Yun naman yung painting na katulad sa ibang painter din yun. Yun din yung parang mga, siyempre sa mga panahon nila is parang uso na yung mga or karat na yung Christianity sa kanilang, sa mga bansa nila. Kumbaga, yun yung parang isa sa mga pinaghuhugutan ng painting sa Christianity talaga. More on religious painting talaga yung mga pinipainting nila dati. As a Virgin the Child of a kind known as the Hogeteria or Elusua, Lampadus was a member of the Greek Renaissance early Cretan school. Itong Cretan school na to, ito yung ano, parang isa sa pinakasikat na school dati sa panahon nila. Si ano pala is taga Sparta, Greece. Kumbaga, sa Greece, ito yung pinakasikat na ano, na school ng painter or mga artist na dati. Dito naman nagsisimula yung parang ano, bago sila pumasok sa pagiging artist talaga, dito mo sila mag-aaral. Kumbaga, ito yung parang school nila nung sa panahon na yon. Yung Cretan School, marami ng famous artist na nanggaling dito sa ano, tulad ni pinakilala din nila ditong artist is El Greco. Yun lang guys. Then, a movement influenced by art of Venice. Ano guys, ang tawag dito, itong artist na to, kaya wala silang mga pictures kasi hindi na sila sobrang katagalan na wala nang pictures or walang na-document na picture na galing sa mga panahon. Siyempre, wala pa mga camera or hindi pa ganun masasabi na parang magiging part ng kasaysayan ng art. Kaya walang mga pictures sa mga taong yung sa may artist na dalawa na to. Kaya hindi kami nakapag-attach ng pictures. Next slide. Some artists were left anonymous and recorded during this period. Sabi ko nga kanina, di ba? Ano, yung ibang artist na sabay sa my period is hindi namin nakuhanan or hindi namin nakuha ng information dahil sa katagalan. Kaya wala na kaming ganong information. Ito yung mga artist lang nato yung may mga information sa internet na nakuha namin. Kaya yung iba is unrecorded talaga. Next reporter please.
Hello? Rinig po ba ako? Yan. So, ako po pala si Samantha Nicole Antonio. Ako po yung mag-discuss po sa Islamic art. Islamic art Islamic art encompasses the visual arts produced from the 7th century onward by both Muslims and non-Muslims who lived within territory that was inhabited by or ruled by culturally Islamic populations. That's a very difficult art to define because it spans some 1,400 years, covering many lands and populations. This art is also not of a specific religion, times, place, or a single medium. Instead, Islamic art covers a range of artistic fields including architecture, calligraphy, painting, glass, ceramics, and textiles. Yung architecture, yung mga mosque at mga palace na at iba pang gusali ng ilan lang yun sa mga pinakakilalang halimbawa ng Islamic architecture. Kilala yung mga to dahil sa mga magaganda nilang disenyo at detailed na decorations at ang mga paggamit ng mga arko at domes. Yung calligraphy naman, yung mga pagsulat ng mga titik ng mga Arabic ay isang malagaring bahagi ng Islamic art. Ginagamit din to upang lumikha ng mga magagandang design, decorations ng mga mosque, mga libro at iba pang mga bagay. Yung ceramics naman, yung mga manggagawang Islamic ay kilala rin sa kanilang mga magagandang ceramics, lalo na sa mga makukulay nilang glaze, mga detalyong disenyo. At yung painting naman, sa pagpipinta, mahalagang bahagi rin ng Islamic art, lalo na sa mga miniature paintings, yung mga painting na kadalasan naglalarawan sa eksena ng mga Quran, yung mga kwento ng mga propeta, yung mga nangyari ng kasaysayan ng Islam. Next pa. Ito, contributions po ng Islamic arts. Marami din pong naging contributions yung Islamic arts sa mundo natin. Like ceramic Islamic potters developed new technologies such as thinner-pacified glazing and stone-based ceramics. Yung lastware, glass and architecture, Islamic architecture and calligraphy. Ito yung mga Islamic na its Islamic art contributions. Ito yung, ito yung mga, wait, sorry. Wait, sali. Etong contributions nila, yung mga, yung sinabi ko nga ceramics, nakakagawa sila ng mga bagong technology, ng mga palayok, tulad nga ng sinabi ko, tinopacified glazing at stone paste ceramics. Yung lastware technique naman, yung nagdaragdag din to ng porcelain para magkaroon siya ng kinang yung mga palayok na dinisenyo sa mundo ng mga Islam. And yung glass, marami ding kilalang mga gawang salamin ng ginawa ng mundo ng Islam. Kabilang din dito yung mga lampara ng moske na gawa ng enameled glass at kadalasang pinalalamutian din to ng mga mahalagang metal. And yung architecture naman ng Islam, turing din tong pinakamahalagang expression ng Islamic art. Yung architecture ng mosque, particularly, na nagpapakita ng isang person ng monotheismo sa Islam. And yung calligraphy na baalagang nakasulat ng Arabic, binuo ng mga manuscript decorations ng architecture ng Islam. And yung Islamic art ay hindi lang siya nakadepende sa particular na religion. Sumasaklap din siya sa larangan ng sining, kabilang yung mga, yun nga, architecture, calligraphy, painting, yung glass and ceramics. At marami pang iba. And yung kalagahan naman po ng Islamic art is nagpapakita siya ng mga kagandahan at kasanayan ng mga magagawang Islam. Nagpapakita din ito ng paniniwala at kultura ng mga Muslims. At malaki din ang impluensya ng sining at architecture sa buong mundo. And sa pamamagitan ng pag-aaral natin ng Islamic art, mas maunawaan natin ang kasaysayan and culture and relihiyon ng mga Islam. Thank you po. Next reporter. Sorry.
Hello everyone. Naririnig po ba? So my name is Ethel Wen. I'm going to discuss about the Taj Mahal. The Taj Mahal, Mughal Empire in 1632 to 1648 AD. Mausoleum complex in Agra, Western Uttar Pradesh State, Northern India. The Taj Mahal was built by the Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan, reigned in 1628 to 1658, to immortalize his wife Mumtaz Mahal, chosen one of the palace, who died in childbirth in 1631, having been the emperor's inseparable companion since their marriage in 1612. India's most famous and widely recognized building, it is situated in the eastern part of city on the southern right bank of the Yamuman River. Agra Fort or Red Fort, also on the right bank of the Yamuman, is about 1 mile or 1.6 kilometers west of the Taj Mahal. Add ko lang din po, yung meaning po ng Taj Mahal is the crown palace and the most well-preserved and architecturally beautiful tomb in the world. And sinisimbolize po ng Taj Mahal as monumentum of love and grieving emperors or to his beloved deceased queen. And yung Taj Mahal po is known for being the jewel of Muslim art in India and one of the universally admired masterpiece of the world's heritage. Next, next slide po. The Dome of the Rock, 685 to 692. The Dome of the Rock is an Islamic shrine of the center of the Al-Aqsa Mosque compound on the Temple Mount in the Old City of Jerusalem. Yung The Dome of the Rock is isa sa mga isa sa mga nag-survive yung building from the Islamic world and isa sa mga oldest extant Islamic monument, and known siya as a Mosque of Omar. Next slide please. Arabic Parsi calligraphy. Parsi calligraphy reached its height around 1400 AD and was regularly used for poetry. While Arabic continued to be the language of sacred texts, Parsi was considered the language of the highest literary merit, even as far away as the Ottoman and Mughal empires, present-day Turkey and India respectively. Yung Parsi, ginagamit siya for pang poetry, and while yung Arabic is continuous na paggamit ng language nila yung sa sacred text. Yun lang po. Thank you. Next reporter, please.
Ma'am, good day po. So, my name is Mark Aldrin Larona. So, yung ano ko po, itong art na po ito, is i-introduce ko muna yung artist. So, si Mahmoud Said. Mahmoud Said was born April 8, 1897, died in April 8, 1964, okay? So, si Mahmoud Said, he is known as father of modern Egyptian art. Okay, so dati siyang isang court, and alam mo yun, tapos inabandon niya yung pagiging court judge niya para maging full-time na artist yung passion niya. So ngayon, so punta tayo dito sa art na ginawa niya. Okay? The title is The Whirling Dervishes. Okay? Kung makikita niyo naman, meron ditong mga dancer, no? So from the title itself, whirling, so yung yung dance to, sila, like nag-iikot-ikot sila. So ginagawa nila to is to glorify God, si Lord, ngayon. Like kumbaga ito yung parang way of worshiping and so kung isipin lang to, like ritual dance lang tong ginagawa nila. Ayun. And sa naman, sa next slide na. So yung next slide, si lang din yung gumawa nito, para yung artist lang din, si Mahmoud Said din. So kung natin, po-pronounce naman natin to like Les Shadows. Ang social nga natin ito, Les Shadows. So so naman itong na to, yung art na to, tinatalakay niya dito is yung, ito pala yung shadows pala, kung makikita niyo yung shadow, ito yung yung pang ng tubig, yung parang nila to parang balon nila, yung pangkuha nila yung tubig na kumbaga yung shadow. So parang nade-defend dito sa to is yung connection nung environment, yung kahalagahan ng water doon sa Egypt. Okay, kasi natin ang yung Egypt is yun, desert yun. So baga yung connection nila, yung relationship nung water dun sa Egypt is napakahalaga. So yun, next slide. So namang Rock carries Amir Hamza to his home. So ginawa pa to dated back in mid 16th century, no. So ano naman to, itong Islamic painting, no. Tsaka kung ano nyo, kung makikita nyo dito sa painting, itong si Rook, ito yung ibon. Si Rook, isa siyang legendary eagle, parang legendary bird. Yan, the bird, mythical bird. Tapos si Hamsa naman, itong ito yung binubuhat niya yan, yung niya, dagit niya, kumbaga di niya dinagit yan, kumbaga inano niya yan, dito. Yan ayun nga sa title nga, i-return niya sa home. Di ba? I-return. Kumbaga to parang dito yung ito. Sa kumbaga nandito yung adventure nila, like yung kumbaga yung relation nung like yung one another, like nagde-define siya dun sa isa, kahit sabihin mong kahit malakas si Hamsa. Kasi si Hamsa kasi parang siya sa sa fairy tale, siya sa isang tale, sa isang literature siya, kumbaga character lang siya dun. Tapos ayun na nga. Tapos parang nagde-define pa rin siya, ayun yung survive, like like need pa rin mag-relay dun sa isa. So yun lang, salamat. Next reporter.
Dito po sa Sarajevo by by Omar El Nagdi ay isang powerful na artwork dahil ito po ay nagpapakita ng matinding sakit at pagdurusa ng dulot ng digmaang Bosnian, lalo na sa panahon ng Siege of Sarajevo noong 1992 to 1996. Noong digmaang ito, ang lungsod ng Sarajevo ay patuloy na inaatake at maraming tao ang naharap sa hindi maisip na pangyayari na ito. Next slide po. Next po is construction of the Suez Canal. Si El Gazar po ay tinuturing na isa sa pinakamahalagang artist ng Egypt mula noong 1945 dahil ang kanyang artwork ay nag-iwan ng malaking epekto sa kultura ng Egypt at ito ay isang malaking pamana para sa kanilang bansa. At habang tumatagal, ang kanyang artwork ay nagsimulang kilalanin at palagaan ng mga tao. At next slide po. Artist Mahmoud Said, born in 1897 to 1964. Si Mahmoud Said ay pinanganak sa Alexandria, Egypt at ang kanyang ama ay si Muhammad Said Pasha. Siya ay nagmula sa Turkish at dating Prime Minister ng Egypt. At si Reina Farida ng Egypt ay pamangkin at inilalarawan niya ito bilang a quiet, gentle at approachably timid man. Bukod pa dyan, si Mahmoud Said ay naging isa sa mga pinakatanyag na pintor ng Egypt dahil sa kanyang maganda at natatanging art style. Diyan lang po. At next reporting po.
Hello po, ako si Aaron Christian. So, si Cheb Mehta ay isang kilalang Indian painter na gumagawa ng art na nagpapakita ng figure o tao sa diagonal shape na kulay. Kombinasyon ng abstract at expressionism ang kanyang estilo na may impluensya mula kina Francis Bacon at Barnett Newman. Isa sa mga sikat niyang gawa ay Kali noong 1989 at ang reliyosong symbols na may kaugnayan sa kanyang mga alaala ng karahasan noong kabataan niya. Next slide please. So, si Muhammad Zakaria ay isang Islamic calligrapher artist at gumagawa ng mga custom na kagamitan mula sa kasaysayan ng Agham. Ipinanganak siya noong 1942 sa Ventura, California at nagsimula siyang mag-aral ng Islamic calligraphy at kasama si A.S. Alinor noong 1964 sa Tangier at London. Bukod sa pagsulat, kilala rin siya paggawa ng mga
Arn, ulit ka dun sa ano.
Ay, kala ko ako lang nagre-report.
Sandali lang. Pasok pa sila eh. Wait lang. Baka kasi makita ni ma'am na ano, bakit nawala na yung iba. Sabay nag-open cam si ano, Brida. Ano to eh?
Kupal si Goson kasi.
Parang ano lang isang minuto para kay Arn. Okay na ba? Ay, interrupt kasi pag may nag-join pa eh. Sino pa ba yung wala?
Sulitin mo na, Arna. Madami-dami na yung oras.
Sulitin na ni Arn yung oras.
Sayang di umabot buzzer beater sana eh, no?
Goso na left out.
God. JTK. SHA5. Exhibit. Hala, ba't ganun? Ano yung itsura ng slide sa inyo? Ba't parang kalahati lang? Ayan. Ano? Ano yung slide sa akin?
Tol, naka-zoom lang doon sa picture.
Kaya nga eh, wait lang. Wait lang ah. Share this tab instead. Ayan. Oh, yun. Ulit ka kay ano. Ito. Yung ano, si ano. Wait lang, mag-off mic lang ako. So that's it for our report. And also, here's the reference. Yung ginamit po namin reference para ano ng mga information. Makalaka po na information. Ayan po. And that's it. Thank you so much po. Thank you so much po for listening. Okay na. Ay. Okay na. Pwede na kayo mag-leave. Thank you guys and stay safe. Meron pa tayong next. Meron pa tayong next yung 11 to 20. Pero on the spot siya i-report. Bali, kung naman pasok bukas, start ko na gawin yung PPT then distribute ng parts. Yun lang guys. Good night. Okay na, leave na kayo. Thank you.